Please listen to my testimony, because I never ever want to hear anyone say that God will not do it for you, because if he did it for me, he will do it for you. So please, please, please listen, because this just might be a video for you. God did something that I never thought was going to be possible for me. I was the kid in school that used to be such a good learner until I found out that I had ADHD, and my ADHD continued to progress pretty quickly from about 9th grade until my second year of my associate's degree in college. And throughout that time, I struggled so much with learning. And it wasn't necessarily that I wasn't understanding information, it's I couldn't retain it and I couldn't pay attention. I had such severe anxiety in 9th grade that I had to repeat the entire 9th grade online while going to regular high school all day. And I also worked a job. So I had one of the most stressful high school experiences of my entire life. And when I graduated high school, I decided to pursue my associate's degree and go to a community college. And one semester before I graduated and finished my associate's degree, I dropped out because I was getting so overwhelmed with my ADHD and my anxiety. At this point, I've already failed 2 classes. Like, I have really bad grades. My GPA was horrible, and my ADHD continued to progress. My dream was to always be a doctor. And I had to stop pursuing that dream because of how bad my ADHD got. So I dropped out of school and I didn't go to school for 4 years. And 2 years ago, God put on my heart to try school one more time. And I was so reluctant to want to do school again because of my experience in school with my ADHD. It scared me to try and go to school again. But by God's incredible grace and perfect plan, there was a degree that my school offered. It was a bachelor's degree in alternative medicine. And I've always wanted to be a more holistic, naturopathic type of doctor. And so I was like, okay, well, this degree is perfect for me and what I'm interested in doing. And so I was like, you know what, God, if it's from you, you will make it easy and I'll be able to go to school without any issues. And here's where God's beautiful story begins to unfold with his plan in my life. The more that I surrendered to his plan, the easier and more peaceful that things came for me. So not only this degree that they offered was a condensed, accelerated degree. So instead of me having to do school for 4 years, it was only 2 years because they crammed all that 4 year of coursework into 2 years, which means, yes, I had a higher course load. It was a lot harder and a lot more fast paced. But the beauty of it was that I could study and do everything online from home. So this was such a bonus to me because I was able to do school at the comfort of my own home with all the accommodations that I needed for my ADHD. So I went back to school, and 2 years later, I went from being a B, a C, D, and F student to a straight A 4.0 student. And so God was like, apply to that medical school that you've always wanted to go to. Now, I just had my medical school interview last week, and 2 months before this interview, I completely backed out of going to medical school because I was worried that I was not going to be able to do it, because medical school is very difficult. It's very difficult, especially for people who have neurodivergence. 2 months before my interview last week, I actually ended up going for a master's degree program because it was offered fully 100% remote, and they were able to give me clinic hours and everything online from the comfort of my own home. And so I got accepted into a master's program for clinical nutrition, and I was like, okay, I can finally be happy and have easy schooling. But deep down inside, I really wasn't happy about my decision to do clinical nutrition. And I just kept feeling the Lord tell me, just apply to medical school, just do it, just do it. Then I started making all these excuses. I'm like, what about student loans? Like, this medical school I'm going to, it's out of state. I wouldn't be able to pay for it. I don't have a job right now. I haven't had a job. I've been without a job and trying to get a job for over a year now, and I'm struggling. I'm like, Lord, how is this even possible for me? And he was like, just apply anyway. So he gave me no answers to any of my questions. He was like, just go apply anyways. So I applied to my medical school. They reach back out to me and they tell me they want to do an interview. So I was like, okay, cool. We'll do an interview. We'll see how it goes. So I did my interview last week, and it was one of the most difficult interviews I've ever had to do. Medical school interviews are absolute no joke. And so I did the interview, and I was told that I was going to have results ready by today. Today's Tuesday. And I had my interview on Friday. So Tuesday comes around and I get an email with my updated status, and I was like freaking out because I'm pretty sure I bombed the interview. I wasn't so confident about the first part of the interview because the interview was split up into 2 parts, and so I was like, I 100% bombed it. Like it wasn't good. I open it, and in big green letters it said, "Congratulations, you got accepted into the medical program." I'm gonna try not to cry. I just couldn't help but break down in tears and thank God, because what he did, what I thought was impossible for me, he did for me. And not only that, but I also found out that when I apply for my student loans, I'm gonna be able to have full expenses paid. When I move to the state that I'm going to be living in for medical school, all my expenses are going to be paid for. So I'm going to have living, food, everything covered for me. 100%. I don't have to worry about a single penny for my living expenses. And so I just cried and I'm like, God, what I thought was impossible for me, you made possible. And so he took a girl like me who struggles with ADHD, who went from a BCDF student to a straight A 4.0 student, who is now able to fulfill her dreams of becoming a doctor, and I got accepted into medical school. And so I'm making this video because I want you to know that Jesus tells us in Matthew chapter 19 verse 26, he says, with man it is not possible, but with God all things are possible. And so if there's a dream or something that God is asking you to do, or you know is on your heart to do it, and don't question how you're going to get there, because God is going to get you there. If it's in his will and it's in his desire and if it's in his perfect plan, you will not only be able to make it and get through it and achieve it, but you'll have so much peace and ease, because that's the type of God we serve. We serve a God that is so good and so peaceful that he'll do it for you. So just do it. I almost didn't go to medical school because I became my own mountain. I became my own block because I said I couldn't do it. But God said, daughter, I didn't say you can't do it. God will do anything. So just do it. Just do it. I pray that this reaches the right people who need the encouragement. If there is something that God has put on your heart to do, just do it. And don't worry about how you're going to get there. Don't worry about how you're going to make it, or how it's going to work for you, or how it's going to happen. God is going to do it for you, regardless of what it looks like, regardless of what your situation's like, regardless of what your obstacles are or what things look like. Don't put God in a box. Just let him move in your life and trust him to do it for you.